Usually there are red flags.
If you're new here, if you hear any noise in the background, that's the new baby. A lot has happened since.
Now, I wanted to recognize how brave this woman was. Okay, this woman was brave. Okay, to come out. When basically she was for hypergamy. How brave she was to come out. And let the public know what was going on. You know, she was brave. Okay, that took heart. Okay, and humility. This could not have been an easy thing to do at all. At all. So I give her props, for coming out and speaking, just being transparent
The last time that
when
I
she didn't have to.
recorded, I think the last time you guys saw me, I was in my second trimester. And yeah, I think I did post an update in the community section when the baby was born. And I said that I would be back soon. And that was a few months ago now. I thought that when I came back on here that it would be to maybe do like some kind of newborn favorites or meet my new baby or something like that. But
And now another thing I wanted to speak about is I don't knock anybody who, you know, uh believes in hypergamy or anything like that, because honestly, you know, I feel it's all right to, want somebody that is able to provide for you. You know, even though in her story it was a little different, she had money to provide for herself. I feel it's all right, but the thing is that I I believe firmly that, you need to pick a man of character, first, because there's so many out there that do have money, but they have no character. They have many vices. They, you know, in her situation, that's a tragedy. I speak of that as, you know, I want to be humble. I want to be kind in reference to her, because, sometimes you think that you know people, and really, like, you don't. You don't. So, I'm not here to judge her or to shame her or anything like that, because people always say, "Oh, that will never happen to me." But good things happen. I mean, bad things happen to good
unfortunately,
people.
it's been a little over a month since I had to end up leaving my husband. I honestly don't even really know where to start with this, just because it's just such a hard topic. And I honestly thought that by the time I got on here that I wouldn't have any tears left because I've just cried so much. It's like
Tell me she's not brave. Do you know how many would have stayed even though This is a sick world we live in. And sometimes to be comfortable, people put up with things that they should not put up with at all. I mean, I know a loving parent, a loving mom or whatever would not put up with that. And here you can see that she is a loving parent, a loving mom. But, you know, there are terrible situations out there, you know, where people don't even believe, you know, like if their child comes and tells them that something bad's happening to them, they don't even believe, you know, like, kudos to her, man. She's kudos to her. Let's continue.
Tears left because I built this channel and this whole brand around being this man's wife and trying to teach other women how to attract good men and provider men and all these different things. And I truly held my husband, or saw him, as the bar for what every woman should, you know, type of man that, or type of husband that every woman should aspire to have. And I didn't realize that the person I married was actually going to be my biggest nightmare. So basically, when I first met my husband, as I've already talked about in another video. So
I want to pause it again here because, listen, the person that you decide that you're going to be with, you need to thoroughly vet. Okay? Thoroughly vet. Okay? Because sometimes we don't see everything that we need to see. But honestly, I mean, in my experiences, I'm speaking for myself, but in my experiences, time has told me what I needed to know. You know, and so many times I could have married for money. So many times. And I've raised, like, I had 3 kids. And 2 of them I raised by myself, and they're grown, and 1 I'm raising. And my first priority was to keep my children safe. And honestly, I would sacrifice that comfort to make sure my children are safe. Because in this world, I mean, like, even I took a sex education class, and they said that, you know, and I know that wasn't her case. I'm just saying for my, you know, my case specifically, that a lot of, you know, child predators, they go after single parents. And I'm just very, very, you know, I just love my children. And like I said, I'm not speaking for her. Her situation was a little different. I'm just saying that, like, my children, their safety was very important to me. And honestly, I'd rather have stayed by myself and just what I did, stayed by myself and raised my kids, than have someone come in and hurt my children. That was the last thing that I was going to allow to happen. And I sacrificed myself, that comfort of having someone, not to say that there wasn't, you know, good men out there, because I had my share of mistakes, you know. But in her situation, like I said, it was, you know, she was already married to him. She had the children from him. So it was, you know, It was different. But, you know, it's still our main objective as good moms are to care for our children's safety first and to take care of our children first. Let's continue.
I think it was my single mom video. I explained, you know, a little bit about how we met, and I really thought that that man was my Prince Charming. So when I first met my husband, I thought that he was my Prince Charming. I thought that he was my knight in shining armor, and you know, he portrayed himself to be this amazing, upright, righteous Christian man, and I believed him. I think shortly after we got married, and this is something that I haven't talked about, I started noticing like certain things changed with him, and I just started to see a few things that I didn't like, but I honestly thought that
You see, she noticed after. We need to notice before we walk down that aisle. And I'm not condemning her, okay? I don't want you guys to take me the wrong way. But I'm saying give it time. As much time as you need to know that that person is for you or not, you know? And even like if you're a believer or whatnot, make sure you pray that thing through, you know? And like I said, I mean, this could have happened to anybody, you know? Honestly, this could have happened to anybody, you know? But at the same time, take your time. Take your time vetting someone. And I can't stress that enough. Take your time. And it's unfortunate that she had to see it after. We need to take our time. So hopefully these things come out before. And like I said, I believe that can happen because, you know, in seeing situations like my mom, you know, when she got married, like, you know, after he started to show his true colors, you know, but she wasn't married to him, you know, like she didn't give it a lot of time though either. So, all right, let's continue, guys.
some of these were things that
I just started to see
I could get past.
but I honestly thought that some of these were things that I could get past.
It was like sad to even say like I could get past some of these things. I don't even know where to start.
It's like sad to even say like I could get past some of these
6
things.
weeks ago, I was changing
I don't even
my
know where to start.
daughter, my 4-year-old daughter,
6 weeks ago.
and
I can understand how she felt trapped. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, that's a terrible feeling. Like when you know, you did something and you know, like you did it because you felt that it was best at the time. And then you just, like the consequence from it, you know, when, you know, basically her marriage was supposed to be a blessing, you know, she's like, oh, you know, he's, you know, she just thought he was, you know, the bomb, you know. But then after all these things started coming out, you know, and I believe that that's definitely true, you know, And that's why I believe in giving things as much time as they need to, that you can see what you need to see before you commit to this person, because, people, I believe people can only hide their true selves for so long before it comes out, even the holy book says that, that Satan appears as an angel of light, and I just believe a person that is, controlled by the dark side can only appear like an angel for a little while. They only could show like that bad side's gonna come out. It's just unfortunate that she seen it after. And then he RA'd her, RAP. You guys know what I'm talking about. In a marriage. Honestly, to tell you the truth, how I feel, like I know that marriage is sacred, marriage is beautiful, if you marry the right person. But honestly, I believe that if there is some ABUS that happens in the marriage, I just believe in, that you shouldn't stay in that kind of toxicity, and that's just my own opinion. Some people believe in holding on to that vow or whatnot, but I just believe that a person should have the right to be happy and have the right to live in a harmonious marriage. I just don't believe in living a miserable life, especially with someone. If I'm gonna do bad, I'm gonna do bad by myself. Let's continue.
I noticed that when I changed her, she was red and very sensitive. And immediately, my first thought was, did someone touch her? Oh, God. So I asked her, I said, baby, did somebody touch you? And she ended up saying it was.
My heart goes out to her because that's a nightmare. I remember certain things in my life that I literally regretted. And you know how that thing that goes down to the pit of your stomach where you're like it's unbearable, and this was not even her fault. She trusted somebody that took that walk down the aisle with her. She trusted this person, had kids with him and everything. He truly is a monster. He truly is a monster. This is a very sensitive subject for me. Like when it comes to kids involved, it just it pulls at me. It pulls at me because they can't, they can't defend themselves. They can't, honestly, I believe that if you're gonna date someone and you have children, I don't believe the kids should even be, included in that until it's serious, you guys are talking marriage and it's very, very serious, and you really, really trust this person, but like I said, her situation is different. I'm just, speaking of how I would do things in a dating relationship or whatnot. But like, you know, if you're a single parent or whatnot, I would, you know, definitely not bring this person, you know, or who you're dating or whatnot. I just believe that you should take the time to know the person before you bring them into you bring them into the fold, you know. But like I said, well, her situation is totally different, you know. She married this man, had these kids from this man, and he's truly amongst her. He really is amongst her. To do these to these innocent, you know, let's go on.
Daddy. I felt like my world ended on that day. My husband wasn't home at the time when she told me, but I knew he would be coming home soon, so all I could do was just say, don't tell him that you told me. And I just instantly started trying to think of how I could get my kids out of the house, because I knew if I confronted him or asked him about it, that he would just lie, and that he would probably just continue to keep doing stuff to her, but just become more covert or more sneaky or whatever. As soon as my husband got home, he was actually picking up the boys from school, my 2 older boys from school. As soon as he got home, I told him that I was gonna go Halloween shopping with my sister, because I just needed an excuse to get out of the house with all the kids. And I knew if I said something like, oh, I'm going to the grocery store, that...
got to be proud of her. She made the right decision. She made the right decision. I'm so proud of her. You know, I'm not proud of this situation. I'm not proud of what she had to go through, because that is a mother's worst nightmare. That's a mother's worst nightmare.
It would be suspicious, like, why am I bringing all the kids, and like packing things, like things that we would need and things like that. So going Halloween shopping was the best thing I could think of to just hurry up and get the kids out of the house. I'm sorry, I had to get myself together. So when I got to the hospital, they basically told me that we had to go to another hospital because they didn't do physical exams, like that kind of physical exam there. So a police officer escorted the kids and I to another hospital where they were able to evaluate my daughters. It ended up coming out that he had actually been touching both of my daughters, who are only 2 and 4 years old.
This is so enraging. This is so enraging. Like, I'm holding back my tears as I'm making this video, because, you know, when it comes to the innocent, they're innocent. They're innocent. That her husband is supposed to be their protector. He's supposed to protect them. But instead, they gotta be protected from their father. So this one's almost done. I just don't know how much more I could take of this one, because it's just too much. It's just too much. Like, And just imagine her. Just imagine her. Just imagine, oh my goodness, that's a living nightmare. That's a living nightmare. Like I said, I'm forcing myself to hold back my tears, because this is just imagining somebody else's pain, you know?
It still feels like a dream. Like, when this first happened, I just kept waking up every day and just hoping that this was a dream. Because it's literally my worst nightmare. It's my worst nightmare. I myself am a product of RAPE. That's how I came to be. And was also, abused as a child by a neighbor's husband. And I specifically prayed to God that my children would never, ever, ever have to go through this. And I'm just not quite sure how this happened, why this happened. I just don't know how he was able to get away with it and so sneaky, because with my own trauma, I watch my kids like a hawk. Like, I don't like them sitting on people's laps. None of that. And he knows how much I cannot stand.
Now, one thing I want to address is that usually there are red flags. Usually there are red flags. It's just so sad, because as a mother, we try to protect our children, Many of us, most of us, there's a select few that, that they leave their children vulnerable. But most of us, that's our first priority, and I'm reminded of a situation that, he had to have this within his heart, already, because it's like putting, say for example, I have and she didn't know this, so I'm not victim blaming or anything like that. But say, for example, I have, I know somebody that there's a thief, and so I leave my money out while they're around, they're gonna steal my money because they're a thief, and, like I said, it's unfortunate, and I'm not victim blaming, but I'm just saying that, this person, this demonic man, must have had this in his heart already, and unfortunately, she didn't see it. She didn't see it until it was too late, And like I said, I'm not victim blaming, and I'm just so proud of her for, for being strong. And I know this has to be tearing her up inside, And I think I'm going to end the video here, because it just tears me up inside.
Um,
All I could say is the betrayal. Oof.
Men like him.
I'm gonna end it there, but I'm gonna say that it's time for a new beginning, you know, and justice needs to be served in this situation. He's a monster. And you know where monsters go? He needs to go to jail. He needs to go to jail. So I wanted to make my comments on this video because, like, it's devastating. But I also just wanted to come at it from a different viewpoint. You know, everybody has their viewpoints that they want to make, you know, and I wanted to come at it from my viewpoint. And you were brave. If you ever see my video, you were brave. You were brave. So I'm going to end this video. And if you stumbled upon my video, please like and subscribe to my channel. I just want to make content that matters. I want to help somebody. And also, you know, enjoy life at the same time. Because some of my storytelling, you know, I like telling stories. I like to talk. So, but with this one's a little bit more serious. But I just wanted to share my point of view on this story. And my heart goes out for her and those babies. All right, bye, you guys. Peace. See you in my next video.